You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh,
you know what time it is. Roll with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. It's Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. If we don't play, all wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's OH. Somebody please give this brother an IO. Come on.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin, and Mello is having a little bit of technical difficulties today, but we are blessed with a guest. His camera disappeared on us, but Aaron Thomas, offensive tackle, big-time offensive tackle that the Buckeyes are in on right now, is joining us. Aaron, can you still hear us? Oh, boy. Well, you love to start a show like this. When your guest was on, we were literally just talking, and right when you go live, this is like a YouTuber's worst case scenario that you never want to happen, especially on a live show. So I'm just going to roll with it. Here he is. He's coming back on.
There we go.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. My camera.
Cool, man. Well, I was just introducing you to everybody. You came on our show a while ago, man, before you started picking up quite a bit of these offers. We got to know you a little bit as a football player, so it's we're glad to have you back, man. It looks like Mello has joined us too. I'm gonna pull him up. What up, Mello?
How you guys doing? What's up, Aaron?
Yes, sir. What's up?
Not much, brother.
Well,
Glad
Aaron,
to see you back on the show, man.
Yeah.
how you doing, man? How's things been for you?
Good. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, for sure. We're glad you're back, man. Well, anyway, chat, we appreciate you guys for coming in, man. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Become a member if you're not a member. Help support the channel. We give back to you guys everything that we get. Helps us to bring recruits on the show, different things like that as well. And share this feed on your X, your Facebook and Instagram, and help us get the word out there about what we're doing here on the Buckeye Boys, man. But let's get this thing rolling, man, because, Aaron, it's exciting to have you back on, because I love, kind of how relationships are built and following a recruit's career. And we had you on, before the Buckeye offer and different things like that. And now we're here, and you've been the talk of Buckeye Nation for the past week or so, man. Articles written about you. So Buckeye Nation's starting to get hip to the kind of football player you are, and the fact that Ohio State really wants you in their class, their offensive line class. It's already got Sam Greer, Maxwell Riley, and Tucker Smith in that class. So adding a 6'7", 280-pound offensive tackle wouldn't be bad. But, man, I'm just curious, dude, because, you played football, right? You're playing it now, and I'm sure you had some type of idea of how the recruiting process would be before you got into it. What's it like, man? Has it met your expectations? Is it a lot different than you anticipated? What's it like?
It's really different than I thought it would be. I thought, like, when before I was getting recruited, I thought you just go on a visit and then pick a school. But I see now that it's more than that. It's calling and texting and really trying to find out what's the best fit is for you. So.
Yeah.
So you have your OV is set coming up this weekend to Ohio State, right?
It's the 30th. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next week.
Yep. Next
So
week.
On that visit, what are you looking forward to learn that you haven't already learned, and what would be a deciding factor in helping you narrow down your school or to pick Ohio State, basically? I'm asking.
So on this visit, I mean, me and my mom, we went last time. My dad hasn't seen anything, so it's really he wants to learn all the stuff about the school like we did before. We really just want to get more into detail about like the life on campus and like the developmental plan for me, and how I'd fit with the team, stuff like that, and just have time with the coaches and stuff. So.
Yeah, taking a step back just a little bit here. Obviously, you're still in high school, man. Still doing your classes, still playing football there, man. So, what are you doing, right, to better your game right now? I'm sure that when you have conversations with these schools that are recruiting you, you know, we've heard from other recruits that sometimes they might give you a list of things to work on to get better. You know, nobody's ever going to make it and be the perfect football player. Everybody's always going to have stuff to work on. So, do you have a list of things you're really focused on this offseason to become better as a football player?
Yeah. I train with LaCharles Bentley. He used to play for Ohio State, actually. I train with him like probably almost every day. So he really helps me get better with the posture and all the stuff you need to be a good O-lineman. I also take lifting serious with my team. Yeah, that's really it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So how is training with LaCharles Bentley?
Oh, it's good. It's intense. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, we were telling you. I remember we were telling you about that. So I'm glad you guys linked up and stuff.
Yeah.
So, what are your expectations this year in high school football, man? What's your team? You think you got a pretty good team going on? You wanting a state championship? What's your expectations, man, for your senior year in football?
Really, for me, I want to win Gatorade Player of the Year, for one. And then I would like my team to win state. So I think we could.
Who else on your team should everyone that might not be getting talked about right now and that people should have an eye out on?
Probably my left guard, Charles Lott. He's a big dude. And then my linebacker, Jalen Coulter. Yeah.
Okay. Nice, man. Yeah, so obviously there's different, like, we'll call them seasons of recruiting, right? Have you seen a difference from, for instance, when you first came on the show now? How busy is your recruitment right now? You recently dropped a top 5. Can you kind of fill us in on those and let us know, are those locked in? Are you still talking to other schools outside of that? Or is this a season for you to kind of narrow down the 5 to 3 and then to 1? Or where are you at with that?
So my recruiting, it actually picked up after that interview with you guys. I had a lot of other schools come and reach out to me. I dropped the top 5 just so I could really try to mainly like focus on these schools, but I'm still open to other things if they appear. But for right now, these are my schools right now.
Yeah,
I got a fun question. Oh, go ahead.
Can you let everybody know the top 5 that you did drop?
Yep, it's Florida State, Ohio State, Washington, Texas A&M, and Texas.
Okay.
That's a pretty heavy hitters worth of list right there.
Yeah.
Some big dogs. So I got a fun question. It's a little different. One of our fans in the chat wanted me to ask, do you prefer pass blocking or run blocking?
I'll probably say run. Yeah.
Why is that?
Because you can get a pancakes on run, but I mean pass is nice too because it you get to look cool and get to protect the quarterback and stuff.
But you got that violence in your mentality. Yeah. I can see by that answer. You just want to put somebody in the dirt.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it, man. So, what are some, obviously, being recruited for schools like this, that there's things your body's going to have to go through physically to change, get stronger, whatnot. Where are you at now with that? What are some things you got any, can you fill us in on some, like what your bench press is or any big time weight lifts you're doing right now? What your weight is, what your height is right now?
Yep. So, right now I'm like 6'6". I've been 300. I've been over 300 for like a few months now, like probably like 3 months now. Yeah, so that's my weight. My bench right now, I think my last max was 315 for 5. 315 5. Yeah.
That's pretty good, bro. Man.
Yeah. And then my max squat, what was it? I I hit 415 for 10 because we do rep max on my school. So
Dang.
yeah.
So what is your goals like in terms of weight by the time you like finish your season? Where would you like to be at your numbers?
I mean, I'm not really sure. I mean, I would like to stay the same weight, but during the season, I just hope to maintain my strength and yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, you can kind of me and Melo have kind of learned throughout interviewing recruits is you can kind of learn right who a recruit is as a person and stuff based off of the schools that they're interested in and what interests them about the school. So I know you have a list of 5, but I'm just going to pick 3. Ohio State is going to be one of those because we're an Ohio State show. But for instance, let's go with Texas. So what is it about Texas that really intrigues you?
It's just probably the history of getting linemen to the NFL with Coach Flood, and probably just the program. It's always a winning program, and I mean, I haven't OV'd, I haven't visited Texas before, so yeah.
Yeah. Now, what is it about? I will say right now, the vibe, right? There's always this vibe that recruiting industries want to put out. They always want to push this storyline for a recruit. It helps them gain clicks on their sites and whatnot. But the vibe right now is FSU. Obviously, both your parents went to FSU, so there's a connection there, man. But what is it about FSU and Mike Norvell that kind of that gets them on the list and gets you excited to maybe play there one day?
Well, I would be a legacy kid for Florida State. So, I mean, both my parents went there. My dad played football there. His senior was 99. I was born in Tallahassee, Florida. So, I really I feel like I should visit just to really see. And I like Coach Herb Hand. He came out to one of my practices and saw me, and we had a long discussion and stuff.
Well, bro, I'm right here, man. When you come visit Tallahassee, you should let me know, man. It'd be nice to meet up, shake your hand, shake your parents' hand. So that'd be pretty cool, man. And finally, man, fill us in. Ohio State, man. Who you talking to from Ohio State, and what is it about Ohio State that's got them on the list?
Ohio State, they have a tradition, obviously, of O-line to the NFL. It's one of the O-line universities. So I talked to Coach Bowen, Coach Dickey, and Coach Johnson. Yeah. And Hartline came today to my school. So
that's what you told me.
They like to visit me a lot and talk to me. Coach Bowen actually came to my practice and talked to my parents for a long time, and they seem really interested in what y'all got going on in Ohio.
So needless to say, they're making you feel like a priority then.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah. So that's always good to know.
Dude, out of curiosity, you said Heartline came and visited you today.
Yep.
Can you walk us through that? What does that look like? Like you're in school and he comes to your school, pulls you out of class, talks to you for an hour. Can you walk us through what happened today? Like how that happened?
So we were actually lifting first period. I got done lifting, and then my coach, he came up to me. Coach is usually not at school, so I was like, okay. He came up to me, and then he was like, come to the locker room. I have a coach in there for you. And it was Coach Hartline, and we had some talks about what he plans on doing with the offense and stuff like that. And he's a receiver coach, correct? So
yeah,
he was talking about that. He was talking about that too, and he seemed like.
Did it sound exciting what he has planned for the offense? We don't want you to give away anything though, but it sound exciting.
Yeah, it definitely did. Yes, sir. Yeah,
dude, the chat seems to be they're pretty intrigued on what your wingspan is right now. Do you have any idea what your wingspan is?
My wingspan is it's around like, I think it was around like 6'11", 6'10", something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Man.
That works.
Yeah.
So obviously with Ohio State, man, we follow them really closely, so we know some things about them. I'm not sure if you're aware, but like last year there were kids doing baptisms on campus. They're really big on their faith there. A lot of the players talk about Jesus and what he's done in their life and stuff like that. So one of our listeners has this question, is how do you feel about the spiritual culture I'm at Ohio State. We know you haven't been on that official visit yet to really indulge yourself there, but have you got any type of vibe on how kind of the culture of that program is, and can you fill us in on that?
Yeah, I feel like it's a good group of kids, and they I believe in the same faith as them, so it would be good to be around those type of people. I saw they had those shirts. What they
Jesus
say?
won.
Yeah, yep,
Yep.
yeah.
So will faith be playing a part or be a factor in your decision-making process at all?
Probably,
Yeah.
because you want to be around a good type of people. So
Absolutely. And have you already been to a practice at all at Ohio State?
yeah,
Have you seen
I
practice?
did. Yes, sir.
So
Yep.
what was your thoughts on what you saw and in comparison with other schools? You don't have to be you could be vague in terms of the other schools, but like Ohio State practice, what does that look like in comparison to say school A over here?
Ohio State, they really do everything at a fast pace. They take like every step is always going to be the same. Every play, they try to do everything perfect. I've seen that some other schools, like some coaches, they don't really coach the players. They just tell them what to do. But Coach Dickey and Coach Johnson and Coach Bowen, they really get in there and correct them and lead them in the right way.
So do you think that's a plus having 3 O-line coaches there to coach you, getting that attention?
Like as a freshman, you don't want to just stand there and hold a bag. So you kind of want to start learning how to do some things, and having 3 coaches probably help with that.
Yeah. As an offensive line recruit, man, when you're looking at these schools, do you pay attention to the class that they have signed already? Like, does that determine anything at all? Like, are you looking at, let's say, Ohio State's offensive line room already has Sam Grill, Max O'Reilly, and Tucker Smith? When you look at that and you see the quality of offensive linemen that they have in the class already, does that excite you, right, to go join a group of, really good offensive linemen? Is it not really a big part of it? Like, talk us through that for a minute.
I mean, yeah, it's expected from a big school to have some good linemen. So if you want to play with the best of the best, you gotta go play with them. I mean,
amen. To be the best, you got to beat the best, right?
Yeah. Yes,
and I know, I believe we asked you this last time, but for people that didn't see our previous recording, did you follow the playoff run that Ohio State went on and how they ended up using, they were rotating their offensive line?
Mm-hmm.
What was your thought process as you were watching that as they went and demolished everyone in their path?
I remember when they put the center in, I was kind of nervous. I was like, I don't know if he was going to get the job done, but he got it done good. So that was really good.
Oh, Carson Hensman, man. We really like Carson Hensman here in Buckeye Nation, man. He's come through for us a couple times. He started as a freshman at center. So, pretty big time. Speaking of starting as a freshman.
And he trains with LaCharles Bentley, so there goes that full circle. I got him winning the Remington World Award this year.
Yeah.
Again, speaking of freshmen starting, man, do you have, when you're making a decision, what's your mentality in terms of playing time? Obviously, man, as a football player, you want to get to the field as fast as possible. But do you have let's call it a boundary set? Like, hey, man, if these coaches don't tell me I'm going to be on the field by a sophomore year or whatever, I really don't want to go there? Or are you just, hey, man, you just want to go there and grind and you want to earn that spot on the field? What's your mentality in terms of playing time and signing with the school?
Well, when I sign to a school, I always say this is my number one goal. I got it written over my bed and stuff like that. I just want to be freshman All-American. So whatever school I go to, that's what I'm going to try to do. So, yeah, I mean,
nice.
Yeah.
So, do you have any relationships with any of the current players on
Ohio State? No, I don't.
Okay. No. I was just wondering. Are you looking forward to meeting some of the players when you come on?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what do you want to find out from them? If you want to ask them anything.
Just like who they are off the field and stuff like that.
So we do a show called Pop's Pod every other Friday with a couple parents of OSU players right now from last year's class that went through the process, man.
Yep.
They're always talking about, how much they had to do as parents to help their kid, go through the recruiting process. So can you tell us a little bit about the support group around you and how, I'm assuming it's your parents, how your parents are helping you with this decision and guiding you through this process?
Yeah, my parents are just really helping me slow it down and really look at every school in depth. And my dad went through the process himself, so he kind of knows how it's done. And yeah, I also have Coach Bentley. He helps me out with the recruiting process too. So it's good to have those people.
Yeah,
absolutely. So are your parents like secretly trying to push you towards FSU at all?
No, they're not. They're not.
Oh, okay.
Dang, put them on blast, bro. Just straight up, man.
I don't know. If it was my kid, I might be like, hey, you gotta hold it down. But no, I would want whatever is the best for my kid, to get him to the next level and get him developed and have a chance to win some stuff while he's there, some hardware. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, there's a lot of kids in this class that either have brothers, right, that are currently playing at a school or had parents that go there. And I've followed recruiting for a while now. And I feel like there's a little bit bigger number now with that. And the reality of it is I know for me, let's say I was a recruit, right, and my parents went to a certain school. Deep down, I would know that would be a pretty strong pull, right, to that school. I mean, that's just the reality of being a human being, right, of being a son to a dad that played at a certain school or something, man. So, I know you want to go to a place that fits you best, but is there somewhat of a pull there, right, to go to that legacy calling, right, of your life? Is there somewhat of a pull there or no?
No, there's
Really?
not. There's not.
Okay.
No. But I haven't lived in Florida or anything. I've been in Arizona since I was a baby, so
yeah.
I don't really have. Yeah.
What about weather, man? When a lot of people like to try to say that, oh my gosh, Ohio, horrible weather, really cold there, anything. Is that on the top of the list at all, or are you just about your business playing football?
Yeah, I actually like the cold, so I've been in the hot all my life, so I would like to be cold.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a different type of hot down there, though. Arizona's different.
Yeah.
It's actually
all right, man, so
96 degrees right now.
96 right now?
Yep, at 6 p.m.
That's ridiculous, man.
Hey, you guys practice outside?
Yeah. The hottest it can get at practice is 115. So you can practice at 114.
Dang. That's insane. Like full pads?
Yep.
Dude, I went out with my crew for a little bit today, and it was like 92 here in Tallahassee. And I'm telling you, after 30 minutes, I could have took my shirt off and wrung it out, man. It was 92, and it was hot. I lived in Oklahoma for a little while, though. A little bit different heat, and it's just different, man. So, bro, what you plan on doing? What you plan on doing during your free time? What are some things that you get into if you're not playing football, man?
I like fishing, just spending time with my friends, my brother. Yeah. That's about it.
Gotcha. Well, hey, dude, it's been awesome catching up with you. We'll wrap this up here a little bit. So, Mello, you got any final questions or final thoughts for Aaron here?
Man, we can't wait to have you welcome you on Columbus on your OV. Welcome your dad. Let him see what Ohio State has to offer in the city of Columbus. And I hope you get some clarity through this process and as you go. And our prayers will be with you. And just keep your eye on God. He'll never forsake you, man. Just keep him first.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Aaron, you got any final words for college football, Buckeye Nation, anything like that?
Hey, what's the final words last time? Go Buckeyes.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Hey, I appreciate you, man. We're going to be following you your senior season this year. I always got to put this out. I put it out there now, man. If if it comes time to commit to a school and you need a platform to do it on, dude, we got you, bro. Come on here in the Buckeye Boy. You know, unfortunately, even if it's not Ohio State, dude, we'll still welcome you here and we'll reach you on, dude. So it's been cool getting to know you for real. You're an awesome person, man. Sounds like you got a good support group around you and you got a good head on your shoulders. So we appreciate you for taking the time out of your day. Tell your parents we said thank you for allowing you to come on here and spend some time with us. But on that note, man, we appreciate you. Go Buckeyes, OH.
Yo.
Yes, sir. Mello, we got to stay on here and talk about a few things, you know.
Let's talk, man. Let's talk. Let's wrap up what our thoughts are on AT and what we just heard from him. So as you can see, Ohio State recruits a certain type of young man. We said this every time that we bring them on. It's not a shock at this point. And if you saw the first interview, you understand that AT is genuine. He's a good dude. He raised right and properly. So what's your thoughts? What are you thinking? Like, what's our chances to land in this big fish?
Well, you know, to be honest with you, there's so many people like pushing FSU here because of the legacy thing. And you know me, I don't like reading articles about kids and what they said because, you know, people can leave things out. They can make the interview go a certain way if they want to. They can do it. So that was my main thing here. I wanted to kind of see, hey, are we fighting against that legacy pool here? And, you know, he answered our question. The answer is no. I mean, his recruitment in a recent interview, he said his recruitment's wide open, man. He's going to go on his official visits and kind of see. And he's got that list of 5 to narrow it down, but it might not even be, you know, there could be another school creep in there. So I think it's going to come down to official visits. I think we have a shot. The Buckeyes you just heard Brian Hartline went and visited him at his school today. So he's pretty up there on his list, man. And it just goes to show you, you know, the difference in offensive line recruiting this year versus last year. Because, I mean, I forget how many offers out, but there's way more offers out now. And, you know, Jackson Cantwell goes somewhere. We're not in on one person. You know what I mean? It's not David Sanders or bust here, right? We're 5 deep. We got one tackle in the class. We're in on 5 other tackles. I mean, there are tackles we're in on that we don't know about, that we haven't talked about. Chancellor Campbell, Aaron Thomas, the other guy from Georgia, Felix Ojo. I mean, there are some guys that Ohio State keeps their relationship with. They're kind of, based off of my information, they are kind of narrowing in on Felix Ojo and Aaron Thomas seem to be the ones that the Buckeyes are narrowing in on. So I like it, man. I like him. I like the fact that he's training with Charles Bentley. Charles Bentley is the best offensive line trainer in the nation. That's just what it is. That's known in the recruiting industry. This isn't a Buckeye thing here. Like, it's known. You see all these colleges that are using him. So that's a plus there. I mean, training with a Buckeye, that always helps. I know that the Bentley's relationship with Justin Fry previously might not have been the smoothest, might not have been the best, but we did hear recently, like 6 months or so ago, that Charles Bentley kind of reconnected with this team again, and he always has a heart to help the Buckeyes, man. It's just what it is. So,
yeah, and I think he should come on our show since we plugged that for him. Because AT didn't know who LaCharles Bentley was, and we told him about the whole training facility he had in Arizona and Ohio. And now he's training with him. And I mean, more power to AT for taking advantage of that. Most kids wouldn't, but it shows the level of discipline, dedication, and determination he has to his craft and wanting to be the best player that he possibly can be. And who else is better to train with than LaCharles? I mean, the dude is a genius. He mastered the offensive line, every single position he could play. He trains people at an elite level. And I'm telling you right now, Carson Hinsman, watch out for that Remington Award.
Yeah. So moving on to the other topic, right? D-line recruiting. Imagine that. We're going to talk about defensive line recruiting real fast because the number 1 defensive tackle, Lamar Brown, I believe is his name, out of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, was previously an interior offensive lineman, has since switched to defensive line. He's coming on our show tomorrow. I'm pumped about that because here's the information that is going around right now, and this is how we're going to verify this information. The information is that Matt Patricia is the one that offered him. Matt Patricia is the one that called him and offered him. Now, what I read was that, Matt Patricia kind of said, why in the heck has Larry Johnson not offered you yet? I'm extending that offer to you. I know it's late in the game, but this is what I've kind of been alluding to. I just don't see how Ryan Day is going to let defensive line recruiting slip. If somehow Larry is not carrying his weight, which is what the evidence is pointing to, but the case is not finished, right? You don't get the guilty or not guilty plea until all the evidence is looked at and a final decision has come in. We are not there yet, right? So there's no judgment here yet, but I will say the evidence is pointing toward Larry slipping on the recruiting trail. I don't live in a fantasy land, okay? But it's not over yet. But this is what I was alluding to. We just have such a good, staff that, coaches like Matt Patricia, our defensive coordinator, 3-time Super Bowl champ, Matt Patricia, is kind of what we're hearing is kind of helping out with the defensive line recruiting here. So we're going to get him on and find out about that. And hopefully he'll fill us in on a few details. And I just want to see if the Buckeyes have a shot here. But again, man, going through past classes and whatnot, we see kind of the decline, even though nationwide Ohio State has signed top 5 defensive line classes, right? Most of the time. I mean, the one last year compared to everybody else, it's top 5. You know what I'm saying? So again, these are what I'm talking about with Ohio State problems here, So there's just a lot of assumptions going on right now in Buckeye Nation, me included. I have my assumptions. Some I keep to myself because they are negative, and I'm not going to put something negative out there until I know. That everybody's assuming Jason Moore and Tywan Malone and Will Smith Jr. can't step up and be actual 2 deep, but this is Mello. I'll let you speak on that, and then I got a question and a point that really hit me hard the other day, and I really want to hit on it. So
I'm more in the line that as the recruiting slipped on the D line, I don't see it. We had that one year where we only took 3 D linemen. I could see it that year, but every other year like you said, we had top 5 class. We just had all starters drafted. So, I really don't see any evidence to point to where the D-line recruitment has, or the development, vice versa, because I keep them in tandem. You also have to realize we got Bo Atkinson out of the portal, so that's part of recruiting. So I really don't see it as big of a problem as other people. People have to realize we missed on Dylan Stewart, but that was straight money. And that's when we didn't have our NIL all the way situated and straightened out. So you're going to lose some kids to money. Teams like South Carolina, teams like Florida, teams like Oregon, they have to spend money. They don't have anything other than that to offer. They're not sending people to the NFL like crazy. So if you're going to lose a kid to money, then they weren't going to fit in Ohio State anyway, because Coach Day doesn't even want those type of players. So to me, I feel like the D-line it's being a little blown out of proportion, kind of like the O-line last year. And I personally learned my lesson from last year, because I thought I was terrified about our O-line last year. And they went out there and shut us all up, period. That there's nothing more that can be said. They shut everybody up. They did their job. LJ is still elite developer. We hear from players. They're talking about how he's the GOAT in terms of training. So I think our 2 deep is going to be fine. I think our starters are going to be elite. I think Tywan Malone is going to be a monster. And I think they're just going to hold their own. They're going to do well enough. And then you factor in what's behind them. So people aren't even factoring that part. Like you have Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Riley Pettijohn, Peyton Pierce, TJ Alford behind them. Then behind that, you have Caleb Downs, you have Jalen McLean, you have Malik Hartford. And then we have lockdown corners everywhere. They could guard any wide receiver one-on-one, especially after going through practice. And then we have Matt Patricia on top of that. So with all that combined, I'm not worried about the D-line. People could say that because you need talking points, but I think our defense is going to be elite.
So Lamar Brown is the number 8 player nationally, the number 1 defensive lineman. He's 6'4", 285. I haven't dug into his film yet, but he's ranked pretty highly. Was a interior offensive lineman. I saw that in the chat, so I wanted to share that real fast. But Mello, yeah, it's the same conversation every time. What you just said, we've said on this show.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 10th time we've said it now, right? But there is a different point that I want to bring up here, because I recently heard some people in the Buckeye Nation, they brought up a point. And their biggest argument to say that they're worried about the 2 deep this year seemed to me was the spring game. Like, they kept bringing up, well, did you see Tywone Malone in the spring game? Go watch the spring game and let me know what you think. Did you see Jason Moore in the spring game? Go watch the spring game. Let me know what you think. Will Smith, go down the list, right?
Yep.
And to that, I'll ask you this question, man. Last year, for the spring game, when the spring game ended, what was the number 1 thing talked about, the number 1 concern in Buckeye Nation? It was the offensive line, correct. We got talked about how bad the offensive line looked in the spring game. It's just what it was. And we see the results of that. So if your evidence is the spring game, right, for judging these players, that's weak sauce, man. That's not very strong. That's just a fact, right? Now, we know during that spring game that the defense, they didn't call any plays. They ran like 3 sets the entire game. So there wasn't not a lot of option there. And they went up against the best offensive lineman. So again, I'm just going to hold out, judgment until I see these guys play. And even the first game going up against Texas, there was a couple games last year when we could say, oh man, I don't know about the offensive line, right? Like, it's going to take some time to sort these things out and make it happen, man. But these 2 deep defensive tackles, these 3 deep defensive tackles, they're training with Mick, right? They're training with Mick. They're going up against, if not the best, a top 3 offensive line in the nation every single day, so they can get better. It can happen. You know what I mean? We're not going to judge Julian Sain. I'm not going to judge Julian Sain by the 1 throw that he was 20 yards short on, you know what I mean, when he hopped out in the game and threw it. Well, same with some of these 2 deep guys that were 3 deep last year that came in the game in the 3rd and 4th quarter, right? It's the same thing. There was really no momentum there. And I know as a football player, you got to take advantage of your opportunities. But there's 2 sides to this. There's the thing where they just sit on a bench the whole half. They're coming in the end of the 3rd or beginning of the 4th or into the 4th quarter, knowing that they're just the cleanup crew. How hard is that to get yourself pumped up for, mentally or whatnot? Like, there's just so many things here. But again, like I said, I understand the worry with the D-line, and I will agree that is the number 1 worry. But, I mean, I just hear too many people making it out to be a 9 out of 10 worry, when in reality, right now where we sit at this point in time in the season, if it's a worry, I mean, it's a 1 or a 2 on the list. We haven't really seen anything yet. You know what I mean? We got to give these guys an opportunity. So,
and why?
It's
so high in terms of a worry, because we don't have that many things to worry about on the team. So you have to find something, right? People are always going to pick out that one thing, but take it from me. I watched this spring game 15 times. You could go on YouTube, watch it in 45 minutes. They take all the commercials out. And if you watch, even with the 2 and the 3 deep, there was only 1 stunt that they ran. They got home on that 1 stunt, and they were getting double teamed every single play. So if they were winning against those double teams, then there's something to worry about. That's a problem. That means something's up with your O-line if they can't win double teams. So I implore all of you guys to go back and watch the spring game. Don't look at the ball and where it's going. Watch just specifically the D-line. They were not getting knocked around like that.
was I about to say, man? I forget where I was about to go. Man, that sucks.
My
I had
bad.
it right. Oh, you're good, man. I had it right on the tip of my tongue, and I forget where the heck I was going, dude. We'll move on to this. Dang, I don't want to, dude. So Jameer Perez, right?
Yeah.
Glenville Pipeline, everybody freaking out. One of my favorite defensive tackles in this class. Not that the dude has like elite film and he's playing elite competition, but when I go watch him move, right, at that size, it just gets you excited, man. It really, really does. Without, saying too much here, I'll just say that, there's a chance he takes his official visit still. I'll say that without saying too much. We talked to Jameer. Hopefully we can get him on the show here soon, but we'll see. We'll see where it leads. But defensive tackle, we're in on some pretty good defensive tackles. I want to do a little a thing, man. We saw on Twitter yesterday, man. We saw our friends up north, our really good friends up north, man. They were really talking about everything going on because I guess Sharon Moore tweeted something out, said go that certain caller. And it was a big deal. Everybody, oh my God. And they got a commitment today from a tight end, dude. Top 100 tight end on some spots, and then, a top 300 on some other ones, man. And it just seems to be a good football player, but I just had to poke and make fun of real fast that, I don't know. I expected way more. This big thing, this huge excitement that got made of, you know what I mean? But they're picking it up. They got their third commit in the class, I believe. Is that the third one?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I think I think one of their other commits, a corner,
Just split, right? Or is
he just visited Auburn, and he said he loves Auburn. So I don't.
Yeah, he's about to flip. He's on flip watch.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Gotta love it, though. I love it. I'm gonna be honest. I love it. I like seeing them struggle.
Yeah, for sure. But that's all I got, Bello. You got anything else? I was gonna go in on some more scum stuff, but I won't do it right now, man.
Nah, just tune in tomorrow. We're gonna have a big time recruit on. You guys, if you were concerned about D-line recruiting, I would not miss that one. We're gonna talk to the number one defensive lineman in America by the recruiting ranking services. I'm gonna have to dive into his film because it's gonna take a lot for me to move off of Deuce Gerald's as my number one defensive tackle in the country. So if you're worried about the D-line, come on and watch tomorrow. We're gonna ask some penetrating questions, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, should be real good, man. Well, we appreciate you guys showing up, man. Please don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps us out. Doesn't take much energy to just click that thing, right? If you like our, if you like what we do here on the Buckeye Boys, hit that alert bell, man. I know a lot of people are always asking what time we're going and whatnot. We try to stick to the same times every Monday and Thursdays on the Buckeye Scoop at 6, and every Tuesday and Wednesday is at 8:45 p.m. Dude, this Friday on the Buckeye Scoop channel, you are not going to want to miss it. It's me and Daniel and Brett Getz, the founder of SFE, the South Florida Express 7-on-7 team, national champs like the last 2 years or something like that. Probably going to do it again this year. So it's going to be good, man. Friday, we're going at 7:10, Buckeye Scoop Pops Pod episode. Brett Getz, be there, man. I put the show up on our Twitter. So if you could go there and repost that for us so we can kind of get a lot of people there. I just got reminded about trivia. Let me get this trivia question out of the way. Working on scheduling Caden Dixon Wyatt as well. We'll get him on the show as well. But here we go. Let me try to find a good question. Let's go here. All right, here we go. I like this one. Oh, dude, this is so easy. You guys are kind of This one's only worth 1 point. If somebody doesn't get this right, I'm going to be very upset. All right. Here we go. Are we ready? Which team did Ohio State beat for the first time in program history in the 2021 Sugar Bowl? I don't know why they put that question in here. That's like a gimme, man. Who can type the fastest? Let's see.
They're not typing though.
I know. There it is, the natural, dude.
The natural stepping up big
the
time,
natural
baby.
just took the lead, bro.
Yep.
The natural just took the lead. He must have a fast internet because now listen, check it out, everybody. I know you're tripping right now and you're saying in your head, no, I was first. No, I see it first on my chat. I know you do. I promise. All we can do is go with who we see first on ours. There's no other way for us to do it. You know what I mean? Because it would be pretty wild. So I'm guessing, yeah. Natural, I got like the fastest internet you can get. That, what is it? It's the light internet. You know, they use it light signal for it. Fiber optic, that's what it's called. But yeah, so I mean the natural showed up first here. I know somebody probably typed in hit enter before him, but his is the one that showed up first. So we now have a new leader. He has 11. That's because he got the bonus question right yesterday, too, for 4 points. So he's got 11. Steely's got 10. A Meadows has 6 right behind him. Ken Taco pretty close to with 7. Just so you guys know, man, don't forget about super chats, becoming a member, hitting the like button, sharing this feed, getting people to subscribe, getting people to view this, resharing these things. It makes our channel grow. The more our channel grows, the more income that we have coming in. And then we will be able to give away more than just the first place person a ticket, right? I would love to do 1, 2, 3 tickets. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? But we got to have your help with that. So, we appreciate everything you guys do. If you could do that, share this, hit the like button, all that stuff. We appreciate you guys. Mello, you got any final thoughts, man?
Man, did you see Buford's new stadium? I'm gonna have to
No.
upload it so I could bring it up on the next show, man. $65 million stadium. Yeah.
They got better turf than the Buckeyes, huh?
Man, it's a stadium, bro. It's crazy. That's where Edric Houston went.
Yeah. We need to see if they can donate some money to the Buckeyes so we can get some new turf so we stop slipping so freaking much.
No, we need them to donate money to the Buckeye Boys so we could give away more prizes to our family.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Buckeye Nation, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. On that note, go Buckeyes. OH.
Yo.